A fascinating 15 minutes ahead of us. You'll notice that the ring car girl's not holding up the number one because there is just the one round here. 15 minutes.
Ready?
A submission only will win it. TONON comes out quite quickly.
Immediately, Gary TONON closes the distance. Now, Shinya is a judo black belt, but TONON is a high-level American wrestler, so he immediately flies in, scissors the legs, and now is in the guard. Shinya transitions into a single leg and jumps on the top position. The intricacies of grappling are so diverse. Everything is step by step.
I know a lot of our fans will be looking at the possibility of punches here and there, but it's not going to happen. Not in this one. But the difference between what TONON has done all of his career, Mitch, here, is that he's got to deal with the cage. The cage wall is going to be a big factor, and it's something that Shinya's very used to, of course.
Yeah, me and Rich Franklin were just talking about the cage. How do you see this impacting this contest?
Yeah, that's something that Gary's obviously not used to. I'll just say this, that from the beginning of this, watching the pat down outside of the ring, it was interesting because normally you're checking the gloves and all those kinds of things, which is another advantage that Shinya would be used to, being able to grab hold of the, not loop into the glove and whatnot, but little advantages like this with the cage and whatnot, it can become a big factor in this grappling match.
Both men got a great reception from the crowd here at the Singapore Indoor Stadium. Shinya AOKI, a big favorite here, has been for some time, but it's a great pleasure for them to see Gary TONON make an appearance.
Shinya AOKI looks very slim. He looks very slender, but he is shockingly strong. You can see TONON's got his butterfly hooks in where he has the feet kind of on the insides of the legs there of TONON. Now he's starting to push away and create space, but AOKI is staying so close and tight. Let's take a look at that scissor takedown that TONON attempted in the beginning of the match.
It was a fast start from him, that's for sure. Oh, now.
Watch out, watch out, watch out. Maybe we'll take a look at that takedown attempt a little bit later in the fight. You can see TONON's kind of going inverted now. He's got the legs triangled around it.
It's going to be like a couple of king cobras, isn't it? Slowly, just tightening with every move, every inch to the left or to the right, tightening and advancing the position.
You can see there's an attempt at a north-south position, but Gary is constantly moving, Rich.
Yeah, this is exactly what I was expecting. You can see that Gary, you're popping up for that reverse triangle there, flowing for something, and this is very typical of Shinya's style. Very constrictor-like, taking inch by inch what he can and just moving little by little, and you have to look at the little nuances of what he's doing here. Flattening out the knees, looking to come across and pass here. Obviously, TONON's pushing down on the head to try to keep him from coming to the side mount or something like that, and then
gets the headlock as Shinya gets to his feet. But again, TONON pushed up against the cage, something he's not used to having to deal with.
Oh, Steve, did you just see that? What he did, AOKI had his hands clasped together, but TONON actually used his feet to separate the hands of AOKI.
that was a very slick way to break the grip there.
The wrestling of Shinya AOKI, this is definitely his style. He likes this boa constrictor type tactic where every time his opponent almost exhales, he's advancing the position. AOKI jumps onto the back of TONON.
And the crowd are loving it as well, and they see the possibility of the arm around the throat.
Yeah, but Shinya finally got the bottom hook in, and now he's got body triangle there, and that's a good controlling position.
He's got the body triangle, and he's got the leg wrapped around, so you can see his right leg there trying to hook the other side of TONON's leg.
I'll say this, though, in a grappling match, it's quite difficult when you take the back to finish with a rear naked choke, because in MMA, I'm used to just being able to punch somebody in the head to set up my choke.
Right.
There is no punch to the head set up here.
AOKI's got long limbs, he's got long fingers as well, hasn't he? Which, of course, is so intricate in these tight moves. Just to get the leverage that you need, and tremendous flexibility as well.
They're more like tentacles, Steve. They basically just latch out, grasp hold, and they never quite let you go. They're always like sucked on and controlling into position. I spent way too much time with him on the mat, and just
Well,
look at this. I mean, check out this body triangle. This is so impressive because of the fact that Tonon is known as such a scrambler. Look at the way AOKI takes the back. He's there. He immediately flies. He's known for flying submissions, but he's not known for flying position attempts. And he just jumps into the position, figure fours his legs, and that's where we are right now.
I'll tell you, that replay right there is a good example that we always talk about Shinya being the kind of grappler who is like a boa constrictor, who just takes advantage of every little inch that you give him and slowly progresses his game. But that was a movement right there where we expected Gary Tonon to do things like that, to explode and flow, and Shinya exploded and flowed right with him.
And listen to the crowd as they get back up to their feet. They are just looking at this with intense concentration here at the Singapore Indoor Stadium, and a reminder that only a submission can win this. So we're inside the final 10 minutes of the contest. A 15-minute fight.
The judges are completely out of this. They might as well go get some chicken rice because we got time here. We got 9 minutes, but the first 6 minutes just flew by. Tonon's now got AOKI pressed up against the cage, which is no small feat because AOKI is tremendously strong.
No, and I think that's the first time we've seen that in this match.
Now both of them, look at that. Attempts for the scissor leg, but a good sprawl from AOKI. Look at this. Check out Tonon. To escape the body triangle of Shinya AOKI is a whole different world as far as grappling is concerned. To get out of that body triangle and to scramble like that, that's impressive. Now we're into the seated position here. AOKI's laced that arm. Now they're going right into the clinch.
So AOKI with the hands clasped behind the back. Tonon with the more open stance. What's that left hand doing, Tonon?
Those are some long arms from Shinya. To be able to bend over like that and to still clasp your hands around like that.
When your opponent's waist is out that far. These two right here, they're in an over-under. You can see that Tonon's trying to swim in with that hand. Nice takedown there. It's a very difficult thing to do because what you were saying about Shinya's arms being so extended that it's difficult to earn that takedown, because typically control there, you have to pull the hips in, like suck the hips into the body, which he didn't end up doing and still earn the takedown.
He's still clasping behind that back there. Oh, he's just let go, as I say.
Again, Shinya's attempting to go. Now he's giving up his leg. This is what Tonon's known for. He's got some of the most devastating leg locks in all of the game. AOKI does the right thing by triangling those legs.
The best leg lock specialist we've seen in One Championships mixed martial arts is Imanari, and
Tonon attempted there. You can see this small little adjustment to take the figure four that Shinya had. He pulled that away. Now he's going after the heels there. Heel.
Oh, he's submitted. He tapped out. The man who beat Masakatsu Imanari by a leg lock has done the same thing to Shinya AOKI. Gary Tonon has introduced himself to a mixed martial arts audience here in Singapore and said, how do you like my grappling against one of your former kings?
Did you see how fast he threw on that heel hook?
It was over in a moment, wasn't it?
Shinya was in control the first half of that match, but just a slight mistake. How Tonon extended the leg, locked it, released the figure four from Shinya, and applied the heel hook was a thing of beauty. Here's Shinya rolling in, and this was the beginning of the end. Once Tonon gets a hold of that leg, that's all she wrote. Here it is, double cross the legs, and just attack the heel, and Shinya knew that was it.
Yeah, there's no point going too far if you know exactly what's going on, and I think Shinya knew that the writing was on the wall there. Gary Tonon wins by submission, the only way anyone was going to win this one. Shinya AOKI, what a great experience, what a great sport to have accepted this battle against the surely premier grappler in the world. Dom Lau with the official call.
Ladies and gentlemen, your referee, Olivier Coste, has put a stop to this fight after 7 minutes and 47 seconds for your winner by way of heel hook submission, Gary Tonon.
Gary Tonon, your winner of this grappling super match, and what a pleasure it was to see. Great change of pace